everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new Michael Jackson. This documentary just dropped on Netflix, and before I saw this documentary, I saw the trailer. I was like, whoa, this looks like finally we will get some answer about Michael Jackson, especially his trial took place and all the evidence, all the case, from the trailer look of it, it looked like it will give the audience solid answer about, I guess, the biggest question of the century. Is Michael Jackson guilty or not? Because the way the trial play out in front of the people in Los Angeles, it looked like, it wasn't clear cut. After watching this documentary, I feel like, oh, wow. So before I go into my review, I just want to say this, that, I review a lot of Netflix documentary. Most of Netflix documentary, they're always very safe. They will not tell audience who is guilty or not. They always tell story very safely, so they don't get sued by anybody. So, when this was coming, I knew in my heart that Netflix will not tell people what is the truth or not, because, end of the day, they will don't want to get sued by Michael Jackson family, right? So, obviously, I guess in my heart, I knew they will not tell me the truth, because honestly, watching this documentary was something like it was, I will be honest, it was torture to my soul. End of the day, I do love Michael Jackson's song. I do like him as an artist. Like, who doesn't like Michael Jackson's song Thriller, right? This guy is, end of the day, he is very talented. Same time, watching this documentary also tells audience that, at end of the day, Michael Jackson, he was very weird person, and this documentary really cement that, if I'm being honest here. Like, this guy was really messed up in his head. What I really was impressed in this documentary still is that all the behind the scene they shown here, wow, how did they get hold on to all this behind the scene, especially going to his Neverland ranch. It was 300 acre. Wow, just so impressive. Also, as a normal person, watching this, it makes you put into this situation. Like, this guy, he was so rich and so loaded, and yet his life turned out to be like this. It's really tragic, I suppose, especially the way he died. That is my honesty on this. Not the dig on the artist Michael Jackson, because end of the day, this guy truly was very talented. Without talent, you don't go that far, right? But watching his Neverland Ranch, man, it made me feel uncomfortable so many times. Him like playing with all these kids in his house, lying with them on their bed. This documentary bring all this sick, really make you feel sick details it brings you. And when I was hearing all these people who've been working on his case for so long, and hearing about their evidence and everything. Although in the last episode, you learned that, everything was paid off and everything, because obviously we know that everyone was paid off in court. So, all these people coming out and was accusing of him stuff is like to get money out of the settlement, and all these people really got handsomely paid, right? I remember one guy, he got like $30 million from the court settlement, but only one condition all the settlement had is that they cannot speak out about anything. Like, everything is like closed settlement, I think, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong. But anyway, watching this documentary, one thing I realized, if Michael Jackson, his life played out today, where everything is online, one celebrity wrong movement like ruins your career, right? Like, so many people getting canceled because the way they behave. Like, in one like award show, they did something wrong, they get canceled immediately. But obviously Michael Jackson, he wasn't famous in like today's time, right? Like, he was famous back then when there was no internet or nothing. All this information wasn't available to public. So, it's understandable how much people, worship him and believed in him, like he's innocent. Although end of this documentary, I'm still like, how can this guy be innocent, right? Like, he was sleeping with all these kids in his bedroom. Like, listening to this is sick, really sick. Listening to all these people, like, makes you feel throw up. So, watching this documentary, it was really torture to my soul, if I'm being honest here. Disgusting is the word I'm looking for. Like, especially involving with these young boys. Are you kidding me? This is really sick thing you are watching. Of course, documentary, Netflix will try to cash on Michael Jackson, this movie right now, Outside, right? It is a huge hit, and this documentary, man, I have so many times really was edge of my seat, So this documentary, people are who pedophile, they will like this. Because the people who pedophile, and all this thing, they will like this documentary because they bring you all these details. And I'm like, I don't need to hear all these details. I was feeling so uncomfortable watching this. So I personally do not recommend anybody to see this, especially if you're a fan of Michael Jackson. You will not like this. But if you are like, although it's saying he's not guilty, but who wants to hear all this thing about their idol, right? Like, nobody in the world in their right mind would like to hear all this. I know Michael Jackson, his movie is making $1 billion, like close to $1 billion. It doesn't mean that, people like still worship him like they used to in 1990, right? Like, so yeah. So I did like some part in this documentary, like his interview with, what was that guy, right, who did the interview with the Princess Diana. Like, I really like how this documentary started. I thought it was very strong starting point for this. Episode 2 was okay. Episode 3 really fell apart. End of it, I just like, disgusting. Really disgusting, episode 3. Although, like, this guy is dead, Michael Jackson. No matter how we feel, end of the day, he's gone. And when you see behind the scene, it looks like he did feel regret doing all this interview, telling people about his life, because end of the day, when you open up your like someone online, like even for like these days, right? Like someone, like even me, me here online making review for me. You don't know me personally, right? Like, but if I suddenly open my life to you, you be like, oh, you are disgusting, right? Like, maybe you will like, but maybe you will not. I'm trying to say, like, how much we know people from outside, right? Like, that is what I'm gonna say. But of course, watching this documentary, it was really unpleasant for me as a person, as someone who makes a review, if I'm being honest. Like, it was very unpleasant to watch for me. Like, I was really, really feeling sick because I don't want to be seeing this. But Netflix, they do make this kind of pedophile documentary. Like, why we are listening to all this thing in detail? Like, this is pedophile. It was quite sad watching this, honestly. Like, even though, like, we may feel mad at him, or end of the day, he's dead. Like, he overdosed and died. So it was, which is back then, it was big news. Once again, I still like Michael Jackson's song. This guy, he was undoubtedly so talented person. Not as a personal, he was very sick person, maybe. Yeah, he was definitely sick, honestly. Like, there's no justification for his behavior. Although this documentary maybe tried to tell that story, but failed it. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this documentary? If you enjoyed this review, don't share the reviews on other show and movies. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.